say a few words. I know some of you here are probably sick and sad of my voice over the last few days. But for those who aren't, the main thing I want to say today is just welcome. I might forget to thank Claire if I leave it to the end of the speech. So Claire, thank you very much for organising this event. And many other events that we put on. Thank you all for taking the time out to come and spend the evening with us. It's great to have you with us, and most importantly, those of you here who are spouses or partners of AMC people, because you probably wonder who are these sort of miscreants that your better halves hang out with most of the working week. I hope we haven't disappointed you this evening, at least not yet anyway. But the main opportunity tonight is really just to sort of get to know each other. We also take advantage of the fact that it's one of our AMC board meetings. So we have our three external board members here, Bob Posen, Guy Deschanel, and Declan over here. So thank you all three of you for joining us tonight, and also for all the words of wisdom that you impart to us on a regular basis. Those of you who were here last year, apart from remembering the torrential rain, will remember that it was notable for the departure simultaneously of both Bob Zellick and Lars Tunnell. Knowing that Bob Zellick was a historian, I thought we've got to sort of put this in some sort of historical context. So the historical analogue that we used was Thomas Jefferson, when president, sort of mandating the Lewis and Clark expedition, and that Lars Tunnell was the Meriwether Lewis, the leader of this expedition, and we were the pioneers going along with them, trying to find out what was beyond the horizon as they staked out, I guess, what is now the western states of the US, directly after the Louisiana Purchase, which for all private equity investors is probably still the best single deal ever done by a private equity investor. And apologies to the French here. If you think about it, what is it that those pioneers did once they actually sort of found this sort of new territory? Well, they started doing things like establishing railways and opening general stores and banks and starting to farm and maybe an inn or a saloon or whatever. So you can imagine this if you remember your westerns. But if you think about it, this bears a striking similarity to AMC's portfolio at the moment. We have a railway in East Africa, we've got a shopping mall in Lagos, we've got a hotel chain in Mexico, we've got a cocoa and coffee supply chain operator, we've got banks all over the place. In fact, I don't think the sun sets on a bank that hasn't been invested in by Marcos somewhere in the
all those banks we assume are good banks.
Yes, they're all great banks. They're all great banks. At the time, the Western US was the major emerging market, and what those pioneers were doing was development. And that's what we're doing. It's enormous fun being an investor. It's enormous fun being a private equity investor. It's enormous fun working together with this team. But actually what makes it really special is the fact that we're actually helping the countries in which we invest develop, create their own version of the Western states of the US. And I think that's what really takes us into the A-League in terms of doing something together that's really quite special. And so what we're building here is a Champions League private equity business for emerging markets. And the thing that I'm proudest of as we build this business is the team. It's the people who are here, the quality, but more importantly the camaraderie and the sense of joint purpose that we all have. We're losing a couple to business school. Autumn and Kevin are disappearing quite soon to, I don't know where you are, Autumn, Kevin. So have a couple of people who've just started this week, Colin and Mike. I'm not sure where you are, but welcome. The most important arrival of all, though, of course, is our new chairman and new CEO of IFC, Jin Yong Tsai. And in a moment, I could ask him to say just a couple of words, because I explained that once you become CEO of IFC, there isn't such a thing as a free lunch. You literally have to speak at every event you go to. But before he does that, Bob is going to say a couple of words, and I would like to sort of thank the board for all their efforts. Guy, in particular, on this particular occasion, has ruptured his back and somehow managed to put enough drugs in him to get down here and join us and sit through the whole session day. Thank you very much. And finally, and most importantly in my life, Odile, thank you very much for supporting me in what I do and also being the hostess for this evening's event. So thank you.
Bravo!
So with no further ado, Bob, over to you.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm here representing Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett. So you should all gather around the fire, bring your wagons, and we'll engage in a little pioneering. I'm very proud to be an outside director of all these funds. You know, it wasn't so long ago that there was only a few 100 million and then $1 billion, and before you know it, we're up to 5.6 billion. So that's real money, and it's really a pleasure to work with all of you in advancing that. I'm incredibly impressed by how diligent people are, and you know how really good the analysis that we get. And I know we have a lot of different funds, and we'll have some more. I want to thank Gavin for his leadership, and I think he's done a great job in leading through some very difficult times. Even I, as an outsider, understand the tensions between various parts of the World Bank. Of course, Deck is an expert on this subject. And I'm very proud to have spent some time today with Jing Young, who's going to be a great CEO and a great head of IFC. And if you see, if you're only the CEO of AMC, you wear a suit. If you're an outside director, you take your jacket off. And if you're the CEO, you don't wear a tie. Now, if we had the head of the World Bank here, imagine what he would not be wearing. So without further ado, I introduce to you Jing Young.
Thank you. First time, let me thank Gavin and Odie to host this. And for me, it's really, I know AMC, a lot of times through books. Right now, seeing this team is really impressive. Not only the numbers Bob have said, look, what you have doing over the last few years under the leadership of Gavin. I know there were difficult times, but you have set a really, I would say, the harbinger at least among the development financial institutions. Everyone trying to imitate what we have. And so indeed it's impressive, particularly when you think of the timing, when we set it up and grow this into such a level and really influence, really is, I have to say this, thank you for all your hard work. And I know there's still some tension sometimes with IFC, but we are going to work them out. But all in all, I think, because of what you have done, the IFC at large, they realize this is a powerful tool we have, and to really push not only IFC, frankly, for the World Bank Group to the next level. And I have known Gavin for a long time, and I just want to say I'm very open to all the issues we need to deal with, and I know you are working hard. There are challenges going forward, but there's nothing more important. We make AMC a great success. And because this is truly going to be a new model for a lot of things to come. We in the World Bank Group, there are a lot of discussions about how can we mobilize more. Jim Kim, after a few months, he in several occasions openly told the world, private sector is really at the center for development. And the role of the World Bank Group is mobilization. When you think of all this development, nothing is more, I would say, concrete in terms of what you are doing. And so really congratulations to you all for a very good job done so far. And 5.6 billion, right? We'll make it 10 billion very soon,
Absolutely.
I think. Exactly. Okay, thank you very much. By the way, I introduced my wife, the ex-World Bank, Actually,
Yes.
my wife, she did MBA, I did a PhD. Never thought I would be doing this. She should be doing my job.
Nice to meet everybody.
Okay, thank you all.